Okay, next musical. The light's kind of yellow because I had to turn on my actual light because it's starting to get a little dark outside. Passion with Michael Ball. Crap that glare. Okay, well, it's Passion with Michael Ball, and it's awesome. Okay, so this one is not as fresh in my mind as Phantom because I haven't been watching it like non-stop, but I know the story pretty well. So, there's this guy, Giorgio, and he is having an affair with this girl, Clara. Okay, so Clara. He's having an affair with this girl, Clara, and they're getting it on. That's the first scene. Them getting it on. But then he tells her he got his orders and he has to go off, and she's like, what? No. So they basically send each other letters back and forth of what's going on. Him being like, I miss you. I'm in the military. I miss you. And her being like, I miss you. I think about us all the time. And then he keeps hearing all these, like, screams and whatever. And he hears that the captain has not the captain, sorry. Something has a sister. And I can't remember what the guy's station is. It's, like, captain or something like that. Has a sister, or not sister, a cousin, who is very temperamental and sick all the time. She's very ill. So he gives her his books, and she loves them, and she, one day comes down to thank him. And he meets her, and he's like, at first he's like, whoa, you're ugly. I mean, he doesn't say that, but in his mind, he's thinking, whoa, ugly girl, whoa. So anyway, she's ugly. He talks to her, he befriends her, and he's like, did you like the books? And she's like, yeah, I like the books, but I read because I'm so depressed and I'm so sick. And he's like, oh, okay, wanna walk? And she's like, look at all the flowers. Castle. I like the castle because it's broken, like me. She's very emo, like, cut your wrist, she, like that, when they first meet. But she's, like, obsessively in love with him. She watches him from her window. So yeah, anyway, so he befriends her, but all the while, he's still writing to Clara. He at one point writes to Clara about how Fosca, that's the girl's name, Fosca made him think of Clara, because he was, there's this whole, like, lyric thing. But they're thinking about each other, they still love each other. He talks to Fosca about how he loves Clara. And yeah. So anyway, Fosca gets really sick. And he goes to her, and he's like, how can I help you? Because everyone's making him go help her. Because they're like, if you visit her, maybe she'll die in peace. She's dying. So anyway, she's like, I'm dying. Can you write me a letter? And he writes it. But as he's penning it, he realizes it's a letter. It's supposed to be a letter from him to her that she's fantasizing about. So he writes it, but he's not happy about it. So the letter is like, I love you, Fosca. I realize that now. And he's like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm writing this. But he writes it. And then the soldiers gossip about her and call her a witch and stuff. And then she gets better. And then there's this flashback sequence where the Fosca and her cousin are talking. They're both singing. And one's like, when Fosca was a child. And Fosca was like, when I was a child. And it's all like on top of each other. And you find out that Fosca was married before to a guy who is very charming. Count Ludovic of Austria. Whenever they talk about his name, they're like, Austria, Count Ludovic of Austria. It's hilarious. Anyway, so they talk about him. And he apparently just married her for her money. And one day a woman comes up to her in the market and tells her this, and she asks him, and he's like, yeah, but now you know the truth. I only married you for your money, and I'm leaving you now, by the way. Oh, and the rent's really overdue. You're in debt a lot, and I'm going. She had to pay off a lot of debt, move in with her parents again. Yeah. So then, and then her parents died, and her cousin took her in, and yeah. So, yeah, now they keep writing letters back and forth. Clara's writing another letter. I'm reading, because I don't know it as well. And Fosca follows him, because Giorgio gets, like, hurt. He gets, like, shot or whatever. So he has 40 days leave. And Fosca comes to him, and she's like, I'll follow you. You can't leave me for 40 days. And he's like, are you serious? You stalker, get away from me. I don't love you. This is This is annoying. This isn't love, this is obsession, and it's awful. But, anyway. So, the 40 days leave. He decides not to take it. And he tells Clara, and she's like... Or he asks Clara to run away with him. He's like, come with me. And she's like, I can't. Not now. My son's still in school. Wait for my son to get out of school. And he's like, it's never, never. And she's like, wait, I can't do it now. My son is still in school. He's like 7 years old. And so he leaves her. He says, I can't do this anymore. So then they write these, like, goodbye letters that are like, I love you, but if I have to say goodbye to you, I'm so sad. I love you. And, yeah. Then he realizes he's in love with Fosca. Unconditional love. Love that will follow you anywhere. So then he tries to see her. But everyone's like, no, she's ill. You can't do that. She's ill. You can't love her. Like, in the biblical sense, you can't love her. But he's like, F you. He gets into her room, and he's like, I love you. I really do. And she's like, no, you don't have to say that. And he's like, no, I really love you. She's like, really? And he's like, yeah. And then they do it. And he gets caught by her cousin, challenged to a duel. He ends up harmed or something. Fosca dies. I think Fosca might get shot. I'm not entirely sure. I saw the musical, but now I can't remember it. Don't hate me. And then there's a finale where he sings and Fosca's dead spirit comes to him and is like, I love you. This is my letter of I really love you and you've made my life so much better because I love you and you love me. I bought it originally because it's Michael Ball. And I love him. As you can see if you ever see my Aragon Lover 580 channel. I love him. And his voice. Okay, but yeah. I really liked it, the one that I saw. It's kind of a bland set just because it's like soldier things and like bed and they have the same background for everything. But it's good. Like, the acting is great. And the acting that they do in the songs is great. And I think it's fabulous. The actors who sing really connect with the music in every version I've seen. They always really connect with the music. And it's gorgeous. And Sondheim brought it. Like, it's key here. This is awesome. I loved it. But it is graphic. They do things. And they don't wear things. So never take a child to see this. A child under 13. Because a woman does not wear her top on stage. And there is copulation that happens on stage. And beauty. Like, it is a beautiful story and the music is wonderful. But, okay, I'm gonna leave you with a small taste of passion. Here's the key phrase. Okay, I've got to stop it now.